me get my chat right. Did my computer go to sleep? All right, let's try this. You guys give me just a minute. Hello, everybody. Okay, it says I'm on, so. Hey, everybody, how are you doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Trying to see what's happening here. Just be real. I can't see you guys' comments. I don't know what's going on here. Y'all give me just a second. Let me see here. Okay, YouTube, I know I'm live, but your comments are not showing up. Give me just a second. I'm going to restart my YouTube. Instagram, hold on just a second. I'm going to restart my YouTube and my Facebook, okay? For some reason, it's not showing all my... Give me a second. All right, let's try this again. All right, there we go. Now I can see. There we go. Hey, just be real. I see you. Now I can see you. Now I can see the comments and everything. I don't know what happened. I know I usually put my computer to sleep. And when I put my computer to sleep, the whole program was asleep. So hello, everybody. I'm glad you're here too. I'm glad you found my channel. Hold on, let me get myself into the camera. Hold on. Let me turn my camera around so you guys can see me. All righty. Well, hey, everybody. How are you doing? Good to see you guys. Hey, Vicky, how are you? Hey, Lisa. Glad you found me as well. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for joining me. Hello, everybody. I decided to sit in the living room today because I feel like we have snowmageddon over here. So we are snowed in. Thank you so much, unique, one of a kind wolf. That's pretty, and wolves are pretty too. Not like the werewolves, but the wolves are really pretty too. I'm doing fine. How are you doing there, Sydney? Sydney? How are you? Hey, Dory. That's Doris. I'm sorry. You were an Angie fan too? You know, my heart goes out to her family. I didn't realize, thank you guys for letting me know. I didn't realize she also had a daughter. And so hold on just a minute. Let me unplug some stuff here. But I was not aware that she had a daughter. As I said before, I didn't personally know her, but I did not know she had a daughter. And so those of you that know her, please, from one channel to another channel, let her son and her daughter and her staff know that those of us here, myself, just be real with overcoming narcissist abuse, we are sending our sincerest condolences to the Atkinson family. Noah, and I don't know his daughter's name, so I want to make sure that they know that we're sending our love from. Most of us are all interconnected in tribes. So a lot of you that are in my tribe are also a part of her tribe and other tribes. So, we're all interconnected because we are a narcissist abuse recovery tribe, a family. And so, my channel, the people that work here with me, send our sincerest condolences to her staff and her family and her children. I do not know her husband's name, especially her husband. for the loss of his wife and her children, for the loss of, um, uh, there's no sound. I have no sound. Okay, hold on. I say there's no sound. Just be real. Can you check and see? Okay, give me a minute, you guys. Let me fix the sound. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me fix it. All right, give me a second. Okay, what about now? Can you guys hear me now? You can't hear me? Okay, I turned the volume up. Can you guys? Okay, I know you guys hear me on Facebook, but over on Instagram, can you hear me on Instagram? Can you guys hear me on Instagram? I don't know what my volume is doing. It's like flashing it up and down. Still no sound? Okay, Instagram, I'll be right back. Let me come in and come back out, okay? All right, you guys give me a moment. Give me a minute. Let me. Okay, I know you guys hear me on YouTube, Facebook, on Twitter, LinkedIn. So let me get this restarted, okay? Hold on just a minute. Because of the fact that we've got a lot of snow over here and we're close to the mountains, YouTube and not YouTube, but I know Facebook and Instagram has been having problems in this area, and I was having some problems with Facebook and Instagram earlier today when I was on with Apostle Sadler, and so let me see what I can do. Okay. Give me just a minute. And we'll try it again. I don't know what my volume was doing. It was just the little volume thing was going up and down by itself. All right, let's try it again. Yeah, give me a second. All right. So let's do this again, okay? Let's see if it works. Just be real. I just came on. Let me know. You guys go and let me know if you can hear me on hey Mama Dolly. Hi Monty. Good to see you too. Okay. Hi Miss Jackie. Can you guys is that Puerto Rican? All right, then Puerto Rican goddess. Go ahead. Hello, Derek. How are you? Hey Yogi, how are you doing? I'm still laughing at your comment. The family know that he was 25 cents short of 35. I said, I'm through. Okay, hold on. Let me see. You can hear me now? Okay, Jack's mom, you can hear me? Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Tracy. I'm good. Hey, Fifi. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me on I know you guys can hear me on YouTube. Can you guys hear me on Instagram? Okay, good. So the sound is back. All right. Okay, great. All right. So how's everybody doing? Thank you for joining me. I'm sitting in my living room today because I'm sitting in front of my fireplace. It is like I love cold weather. I love it. We were snowed in today. It was snowing really hard. A lot of us that are in the Washington area live close to the mountains. Those of us, and especially in the Seattle area, those areas have like steep inclines, and we live like on a lot of like hills and steep inclines. And so we were snowed in today, so we couldn't. And then our church sits on the incline, and so it was dangerous for a lot of people to leave the house today. So we had church from home, but I was going to run out because it's something I needed. It was an emergency and it's something that I needed. And I got stuck on one of the roads coming out of my house. So someone actually had to push me back across the street. And so I parked my little tail right back into the driveway. And then my driveway was so slippery that I couldn't even get my car up in there. I had to lay salt in order to get my car back in the driveway. So I know another thing was is that like there were some problems with like Facebook and Twitter today. Both of them just kept going out. So if you guys are having connection problems on Instagram, you still got YouTube, you got Twitter, you got Facebook. And if you're having problems on Facebook, you can always go to Twitter, you can go to LinkedIn and all those areas. So you guys can still, stay in there with me. Stay in there with me, okay? So let's go ahead and open up, those of you, give me just a second. Let me open up our Clubhouse. So those of you that also have Clubhouse, please, you can join me on Clubhouse as well. Do know that I usually come on and I teach a little while on all these other social medias where you can see me. And then I usually go over to Clubhouse to talk for a little while, a few minutes, to get some of your input or questions answered. So those of you that also have Clubhouse, please come on over and join me in Clubhouse. If you don't have Clubhouse, it's an app. You can go look under your apps. If you have, I don't know what it is on, I know it is on iPhone. On iPhone, just go to your app store and then download Clubhouse. It's free, register and then go look for Carmen Bryant or Overcoming Narc Abuse. And then go and just follow me on there. And then you can go into the room. And then when we're finished with this, you guys can come over and ask me a few questions. Good on Clubhouse. Thank you so much. Hello, Van. Hello, Van and Candace and Kendall and Abby and Shauna and Michelle. And hey, Jose, how are you doing, Jose? Good to see you again. That's my buddy right there. So you guys are ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? So let me grab my iPad. So I'm grabbing my iPad because you guys had some really good. Oh, look at there. I'm coming in all clear. Look. There I go. My little pale self. There I go. So, all right. Let me go to some of the comments. I like some of your comments. I'm ready tonight, honey. I'm ready tonight. Let's look. Give me a second, you guys. Give me a second. Let me find you. Okay, there we go. So tonight's topic is hey, Miss Stephanie, how are you doing? Tonight's topic is I was going to say my room name. Why does the narcissist family ignore the obvious? And some of you guys, I was looking at some of, when I posted, I was looking at some of the comments as you guys got some pretty good comments, I must say. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna read the comments and just comment off of the comment to give you the answer to the question, right? So first of all, let's understand. Well, first of all, let me introduce myself. Hey, Marcy Lee, how are you? Hey, Franklin, how are you? Let's see. Franklin, you're a family member of Angie? Are you a family member of Angie? Angie Atkinson? Thank you so much, Yogi. I appreciate that. Thank you. You see, I got my little blanket on because it's a little cold, but I got the fireplace going, so my feet gonna get hot in just a few minutes. So I just put a little blanket on, and then on top of that, I want you guys to see my little muffin top. So, so this is what we're going to do. So first of all, those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Carmen Bryant. I am the host of Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. I am also a licensed mental health therapist here in the state of Washington. I'm also a certified clinical trauma professional, and of course, a retired United States Army soldier, senior non-commissioned officer in the United States Army, retired here at the great Northwest of Joint Base Lewis and McChord. It wasn't Joint Base, it wasn't JBLM at the time. It was Fort Lewis and McChord, but I say graduated. I retired from Fort Lewis here in the state of Washington. So I really was in the military. For those of you guys see some of my picture in my uniform. So you guys know I really for real was in the military. I love working. I mean, the work itself, the trauma itself is not fun, because people that have been traumatized, it's sad, and it's hard work, and it's traumatic. And of course, for a lot of us, as professionals that are helping people that are coming out of narcissist abuse, that are coming out of domestic violence, is not easy. It's not easy, because they're coming out and they abuse us too. And some of them, that's the only thing that they know. So the work itself is not easy work, but I love doing it, because I love to see people start from point A and get to point Z. And I love to see people's faces. I love to hear their stories about how they overcome it, what they've done, what they're doing with their life, how they're doing it. And so that is, for me, you don't have to put me on the stage and applaud me. All I need to know is how you are progressing. To me, that's the most beautiful thing that I can hear. But back to the topic. So our topic is why does the narcissist family ignore the obvious? Okay. Before I go into it, let me ask you this question. I'm going to answer this question with this question. What makes you think, well, first of all, what difference does it make, right? Why do they ignore the obvious? What difference does it make? Because they're victims just like you're victims. And we're going to go into the different types of situations, but what difference does it make? Why are you upset about the fact that they may be ignoring it? Maybe they're not ignoring it. And I'm going to go through some of these comments, because some of these comments were right on point. But first of all, understand that narcissistic personality disorder is a mental illness. For most people, when you say mental illness, the first thing people look at is, but they don't have a developmental delay. Developmental cognitive delay used to be called mental retardation. They're not autistic. They don't have to get claims through the state to get Social Security benefits. There's nothing obvious. They're charismatic. They have a job. They work amongst people. Some of them are altruistic, meaning that they're helpers. These are the type that'll do anything, take the shirt off their back, give you the last money. They are the greatest helpers, to get money, get grants, get finances out there in the community, nurses and doctors, and some of these are wonderful people. They don't look mentally ill, but remember back in the day when HIV came around or AIDS came around, a lot of people that you walk around that are HIV infected don't look like they're HIV infected, correct? A lot of people that have health issues don't look like they have health issues until it starts manifesting. Just like a narcissist, sometimes it manifests, but you got to be close enough to them in order for it to manifest, because they're always going to wear a mask. They're always going to try to look the best that they can in front of people. Also, keep in mind that there is no definitive answer as to what causes narcissistic personality disorder. If there was, just like Dr. Phil said, if there was a definitive answer as to what causes NPD, then us as therapists, psychiatrists, researchers, and psychologists would have answers to give a cure, to work through it, to say, but you have not heard of anyone ever being cured of NPD. I don't care what you've heard out there in these streets. There ain't nobody been cured of NPD. You have not heard of anyone being cured of NPD. Going to therapy, the medical arena, you haven't heard them being cured. These narcissists that are out here on these channels that admit that they're narcissists, they're not cured. They just found another way to hoover people and to love bomb people on a social media platform. And most people are starch defenders, and have become flying monkeys, don't even realize it, because they defend. They're harmless. They're not going to do anything. They realize that something is wrong with them, and they're trying to help the best way that they can. You know what? Get out your emotions, because no, they're not. There's a purpose that they serve, and the purpose that they serve is to get fuel. They don't care about you. They're a narcissist, and this is what these channels teach you. But there is no definitive answer as to what exactly causes NPD. If you read the research, you have environmental. One of the ladies here said nurture versus nature. You have environment, you have genetics, you have experiences. A lot of them have been through experiences. Majority of the narcissists I have ran into in my practice, in my private practice, majority of every single one of the narcissists that I work with, that for a short period of time. It wasn't a long period of time, trust me. Oh Lord, it wasn't a long period of time. Trust me, it was a very short period of time at which I worked with these narcissists, especially because I don't work with personality disorders. But each and every one of them that I have ever worked with have dealt with some type of extreme mental abuse, psychological abuse, child abuse, domestic violence as children. They have dealt with abandonment. They have dealt with rejection. A lot of them have went through those type of sexual abuse, physical abuse. But you have to remember, especially if a narcissist is growing up in a home with a narcissist, whether it's a single parent or one is a narcissist and the other one is just the enabler. A lot of them have probably been, someone said they've been exposed to narcissism. So each one of them has had something happen to them that causes them to develop this disorder. Now, some of you may have what's called an autoimmune disorder. Some of you guys understand what I'm saying, the autoimmune disease or autoimmune disorder. You know that your immune system turns against you. It begins to work backwards. It begins to attack you. So it autoimmune disorders that attacks the body. So it is attacking what is good, not what is bad. So it's working in reverse. Well, if you kind of look at NPD like that, it's something that was supposed to help, something that is supposed to help them has turned and it works against them. And anything that is good, anything that is stable, anything that is happy, safe people that are there to help are always looked at as as an enemy. They're always looked at as something that can take away from me. If they need something, if they have a need, whether it's a need for conversation or emotional, some type of emotional something, anything, they don't know how to, like we do, if a no is a no. They already plan that you're going to say no. They already plan to be rejected. They already plan to be abandoned. So instead, that they'll force them away. They manipulate their way into getting their needs met. And for some of you guys were tricked into these relationships. If you would have been honest with me, at least give me an opportunity to say no, but you didn't even give me an opportunity. You lied and you presented yourself a certain way. And I got tricked into a situationship. Now that I'm stuck, or now it's taking me forever to try to get out of the situationship, right? But a lot of them come from families that had narcissism, and I'm gonna comment on these as I go, okay? But there is no definitive answer, because if we had a definitive answer, then we would have some type of methodology or some type of approach in order to help cure this personality disorder. It's a permanent personality disorder. It's a mental illness, and most of them look pretty normal. They sound pretty normal. These are charismatic people. These are people that are fun to be around. You just enjoy talking to them. They make you feel good about yourself. All this time though that they're love bombing you. They're love bombing you, and they want something from you as well. If they show remorse, or if they apologize or anything like that, there's always a reason behind it. Those narcissists that will not admit that they're narcissists. A lot of them won't say that they're narcissists, but yet a narcissist will recognize another narcissist because they recognize the behavior. They recognize the behavior. They know exactly what they're looking at, and they can tell you everything about it because it's familiar to them. It's familiar, and they go by what they did, why they did what they did. And so they project onto that other narcissist because they know why they're doing what they're doing. And so they'll tell you all their little game plan and everything that they're doing because of the fact that that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they do, and that's how they think. So a narcissist will pick out another narcissist but won't admit that they're a narcissist themselves. I'm not that bad. That's just like long time ago, I was working with a young lady. I met this young lady who was a meth addict. And those of you that understand addictions and drug and alcohol and everything, I did not know that there were classes or socioeconomic statuses within the drug community. She was a meth addict. And so what I asked was, what is your choice of drug? She said meth. I said, do you smoke? Do you smoke? Do you sniff? Do you inject? And when I said inject, she looked at me like I had just pooted, loud. And she looked at me, she's like, inject? She said, that's for low class people. She said, I don't inject, I smoke. I said, okay. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, what difference does it make? You're still putting it in your body. But it was like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. I don't inject, that's for low class. I'm not a low class. Okay, but you look like Skeletor. So I'm quite sure, either way it goes, affect you. So I didn't know they were classes. When the narcissist community is the same way. If you tell them that these behaviors, what they'll tell you is, I used to be like that. I'm not like that anymore. Or I'm not that bad. At least I didn't do this. I was doing this, but at least I didn't do this. And you're thinking to yourself, what difference does it make? You're still a horrible person. You still this horrible individual, right? So let's go through some of these comments, and I'm gonna do my narrative on the comments. Some of you guys have some really great comments. Miss Betty Smith said, "I don't think they ignore. I'm believing they're a part of the problem." Of course, anybody that perpetuates domestic violence is a part of the problem. A lot of them are enablers. You are absolutely right, Miss Betty. A lot of them are enablers. Think about it. And somebody said this too. If you come from a long line of domestic violence and abuse, and that's all that you ever seen. And remember, I taught that on was it TikTok, where I did that on learned helplessness. A lot of people from generation to generation to generation have learned helplessness. They learned that no matter what I do or what they did, they never got out of their situation. Why do you think a lot of communities that, especially like the Black community, for example, that have come from, slavery, through the segregation, the Jim Crow era, and I've watched it, I've seen it, come from these areas, they still have like that certain mentality, that almost like a hopeless mentality. Like, and I'm not saying hopeless meaning that they can't get out of it. They have like almost like, and it's not just our Black communities. There are other communities the exact same way, impoverished communities, those that, that are impoverished communities, drug addicted families, alcohol, those families that have sicknesses. So some of you guys have witnessed it. I can only relate to this because I'm accustomed to seeing this, from my family, because you guys know that I'm also African American. I am African American. My mother's from Europe, from Germany. So I'm from Germany, and here I am in the United States, and I got to see this side of my family, certain things within the Black community, and talking to my father about picking cotton. I'm like, Daddy, you pick cotton? He's like, I sure did. And he used to laugh because he said, I ain't do it right. He said, because I wasn't really making no money. And it was like $1 per 100 pounds or something like that. Like, shoot, I wouldn't have done it either. But so you got these stories, but then you get to look at people with different perspectives. And so, you have this learned helplessness. And in families, a lot of times when they come from generation after generation after generation after generation, grandmama was abused by granddaddy. Great grandmama was abused by great granddaddy. Mama was abused by daddy. Daddy left mama. Mama had all these men. Daddy had all these women. I watched mama get beat down. I watched daddy get beat down. I watched grandmama get beat down. I watched grandmama beat daddy down. So in this community, they get this, and I'm not saying in the Black community, in all communities that you see this type of abuse, you become desensitized to it. This is something, so little girls or little boys, but little girls grow up thinking that this is just a norm. If the man don't put his hands on you, that something is wrong. Some of them actually said that if a man doesn't hit me, I think he don't care. So abuse is ingrained within, these families, because that's all that they're accustomed to seeing. Daddy always had a side chick. Mama always had a side dude. And a lot of times it was the daddy. Daddy had babies by everybody. Mama raised a couple of the kids, and they lived right down the street. We knew it. We just didn't say anything. Nobody talked about it. They watched people getting beat down, but nobody interacted to help. You're watching somebody get beat down, you won't even go rescue them. Nowadays things have changed, but there are some people that come from that community and that mindset where I just don't get involved. That's none of my business. What do you mean? You watch them get beat down, you watch them get kicked out in the middle of the street where he crazy. If I say anything, he gonna do this, or she's gonna do this, or she'll try to burn down my house or whatever. So nobody wants to get involved. Nobody wants to help. People say things, but they kind of leave it. I just don't say anything because it's none of my business, and I don't want to say nothing because he crazy, and if I say something, he gonna cut her off. So people don't want to get involved. So that's all that they're accustomed to. And then you wonder, daddy was a narcissist, mama was a narcissist, great granddaddy was a narcissist, great grandmama, grandmama. These people were narcissists, and so each one of them were raised a certain way. So you got these family of narcissists and enablers, and and then on top of that, if you add to it, then you got that one narcissist, like somebody was saying on here. You got that one narcissist where family members already know that they crazy. They like the Tasmanian devil. So they already know not to rub him or her the wrong way, because they come in and tear up stuff and cuss family out, cuss mama out, cuss sister and brothers out, and it don't matter who you are, they gonna go off. And so we just don't want that trouble. So if they don't, we just try to keep the peace, or we just don't go over there. We know that they're there and they there. Everybody's just tense and and he talking crazy to her, or she talking crazy to him. We just don't nobody say, and everybody, and then the person that's coming in is looking around like, what? Everybody just agrees with this behavior. Everybody is an enabler. Everybody's a flying monkey. Or they like, well, or you go talk to someone. Well, baby, we just don't talk of, that's just not how. Then somebody within that circle, the flying monkeys within the circle, will try to get you into compliance of what the dysfunction of the family is. This is how the family operates. You're the one you're all over here. So they're trying to pull you into this dysfunction. This is how it works. You just have to learn how to take it. He's a good provider. She's a good provider. She got a good job. She's got benefits. She's got money coming in. And if it wasn't for her money, so-and-so wouldn't be taken care of. He got this right here. So if we need it, so you don't want to make them mad, because if you make them mad, they'll stop taking care, because then I got you, they done got these family members all wrapped up. Think about it. If they do it to you, they done got your finances wrapped up. They not even love bombs. They got your finances wrapped up. They done got you. It's almost like they got you like this. So no matter where you move, you can't move without them, because they're involved somewhere or another. They've done so much to get you out of debt, and they always do things so that you'll always have a mindset of, you owe me. They're always going to put you. They don't do anything out the kindness of their heart. They don't do anything because they want to do it and they want to help, and they don't expect anything in return. You have to remember, if you're talking about a romantic relationship, you know that when you are being love bombed for the first time and you're being idolized, you remember in the videos that we have done, many of us have done, is that during that time, they keep tab. Because if you are well worth investing in, because you have more, they can get more out of you, they're going to put more into you. So it's a lot of fuel coming out, buying you this, taking you out to eat to impress you, doing these type of things with you. They're keeping tab because you owe me. You're going to owe me. And I'm going to remind you in little subtle ways once I finally lock you in. Well, family members are the exact same way. You have this one person that does for the family. They'll always make sure that you're always in a position to know you owe me. And not only do you owe me, you may not be able to pay me back financially. You owe me by your submission. You owe me by your obligation. You owe me as a family member that no matter what I say or what I do, you will always be on my side. And I'm always going to take something and dangle it over your head just to remind you, where's your loyalty? They'll say little things like blood is thicker than water. Shoo, blood will choke you to death. Blood is thicker than water. And we're family, and we're supposed to stick together regardless, whether this person is not. We don't just leave them out like that. Some of y'all need to leave the family alone. Some of you need to walk away from your own doggone family, because some of the families are so daggone toxic. You don't know whether make you start thinking like, was I adopted into the family? Was I adopted? Like, are you really my brother, sister, uncle, mother, cousin? Let's see. Let me go to the next comment. Marie said the narcissist family tree, usually more narcissists in it. Yup, shake that tree, and I guarantee you to be a lot of narcissists that fall out that tree. You're absolutely right. If the family ignores the obvious, Lillian said, well, if the family ignores the obvious, it's like it don't exist, sweeping it under the carpet, making it seem like it's really not there. If I ignore the problem and never address the problem, then the problem is not really there. Not only that, because if I address the problem, the very abuse that this person is getting, they're going to turn the abuse on me. And what else? It's like it does. Most families be glad when someone else come along and deal with that burden. You are absolutely right. There are some families that already know that brother Nimpsey or sister soldier, is they don't know that they're a narcissist, but they know that they're a hellion. They know that they love them, and but inside the most guiltiest, a parent can feel so guilty when in their heart their whole desire is that they get married and leave the house, so you're no longer my problem. So what they'll do is you'll marry their son or marry their daughter, and they will play the role of, I'm going to do whatever I can to help you guys stay together. I'm going to talk to you guys to make sure that this works, because they don't want their tail back in their house. They don't want to have to deal with them, because when you are out the picture, the family got to deal with them. And so some families prefer that you take the burden off of them. Just like she said, Lillian said, you take the burden of this person, because I don't want to deal with them. I done dealt with them all their life. I done dealt with them all their life. I don't want to deal with them. Now that you done came along, let's go ahead and give you the burden, let you deal with it. And they may not verbalize it, but you deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. I'm tired of them. And now I finally got a break. I got peace and quiet in my house. They're not calling and cussing me out all the time. They're doing you that way. Even some people and their children, where they grew up in a narcissistic home, and the narcissist would take his focus off of the main supply and focus on the kids. And so the mother will allow the father will allow that narcissist to focus on those children, because remember, a lot of times what that narcissist will do is to get you into compliance, will go after the kids to get you back into compliance. But the mother or the father knows that when they go after the kids, they get a relief. They're not being abused as much. The child is. And sometimes they won't even step in, or they're afraid to step in because they know that the abuse on them will be even worse. So this is the type of families that you're dealing with. Let's see. Maggie said, because a few of them are the same way. So the rest see it as abnormal or just crazy. Absolutely. This is just how they are. We don't say anything. He or she been like this all their life. And if the mama didn't correct them, if the father didn't correct them, that is not my responsibility to correct them. That's their mom and daddy fault. We just don't say anything. They always been like that. You already know when they come over, so-and-so coming. Oh Lord. Well, I ain't going to be there today. I ain't going to be there this evening. I'm finna go, because you already know when they come over, you know how they are. That's just how they are. We just don't say nothing. Let's see. They don't personally have to live and sleep next to them. And the narc usually puts up a good front around everybody else. That mask be looking good, honey. It sure do. Let's see. Who is it? Daphne? I learned to leave narcissist people where they at, so I stay alone, away from everyone. It's not good to always be alone. You know what I mean? You just have to heal so that you attract the right people. Let's see. Maybe Gigi said maybe they're the same way, so they don't see nothing wrong. You got a narcissist that is right. You're absolutely right. You have a narcissist that had a narcissist in the home. They'll excuse the behavior because that's just how they are, or they encourage the behavior because instead of them coming after you, they have the baby narcissist coming after you. So it's easier, because I ain't do nothing. It wasn't me. But they don't try to change the child's behavior. They just allow the child to do whatever, because really it's an extension of them. So child acting up or saying whatever, then the parent is threatening the other parent, and don't you do nothing either. And you better not say anything, or I'll call CPS. You better not. So you got another little Tasmanian devil, 2 and 3 years old, 4 and 5, 6 years old, talking to a mother or a father any kind of way, and the parents are afraid to say. That's why I'm making that course that I'm making. That's why I'm working on that course, because you got some of these narcissistic these narcissist mothers and fathers that are threatening the other parent, making them fearful of correcting the child's behavior, because I'm gonna call CPS and you better not. And the child is chiming in and saying the exact same things that the narcissist is saying. So you got this little tiny Tasmanian devil running around your house, and you afraid to say and do anything. Bring it to my house. Y'all heard me say that? I said that out loud. Now bring it to my house for about a week. Yeah, bring it to my house for a week. I said that out loud. Hey, Aunt Tasha. So let's see. Catherine said it's not that obvious. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. If you pay attention to the family, you can pick it up. If you're around the family long enough, I did say that out loud, just be real. I said that out loud, thought out loud. But if you sit around, if you're observant enough, you can look around at the family dynamics, and you can see who are the enablers. You can see because a lot of them just won't say anything. And then the parent of the narcissist, some of them, not all of them, because if they agree, a lot of the aunts and uncles, if they disagree with the behavior of that person, they get cut off too. If they disagree and say that is not right, you're wrong, and I'm just going to tell you like it is, a lot of them get cut off too. And so the parents sometimes are afraid because they don't want that narcissist to cut them off. And so what they'll do is they'll just become a flying monkey. It's not that they agree with the behavior, but what they do is they don't go overboard with trying to get them to, or talk about. They'll tell you something about what they done said, but 9 times out of 10, they did not say, the parent did not say, and they just go with the flow. And then if they don't talk to the ex, or if they don't talk to the baby mama, baby daddy, then, that parent that is the enabler does the exact same thing to maintain favor with that narcissist. And sometimes that narcissist is a breadwinner. Sometimes that narcissist, is the person that helps the family, that in the family, really, they put themselves in a position where they're needed, and then the family depends on them, and all they know is we have to walk on our tippy toes. We have to tippy toe around this person, because if we don't, we'll lose all support that we already have. And that is one of the biggest problems coming from a narcissist family that become enablers. Let me see. Annette said maybe the narc abused and gaslighted them for so long they don't know who they are, what to think, believe anymore. Even if it's obvious, narcs abuse their families too. Absolutely. Just because we talk about how a narcissist abuses their significant other, or their wife, their husband, their children, and everything, you have to take that exact same behavior. It applies to the families. Some reason or another, people disconnect the two and think that, okay, this is how they are in a romantic relationship, but this is not how they are with their families. They're exactly the same way with their families. But the difference with the family and with the wife or husband and children is the fact that they grew up with these families. And so growing up with these families, they grew up to become a Tasmanian devil. They've always done things. They know the weaknesses of their brothers and sisters. They know the weaknesses of their mother and fathers and aunties and families. They know exactly what to do to rub your head, to gaslight you, to make you feel like you're crazy. And anytime their behavior is addressed, even by family, some of them scream, holler, threaten to do things, threaten to take stuff away, bring up stuff that they did, bring up stuff that they used to do. And so the very same thing that happens within a romantic or a significant other or husband and wife relationship is the exact same thing that happens within the family of origin and the extended family around the family of origin. They just have a bigger pool to pick from. Let's see. And especially if you're the type of person that believe in family first, family first, family first. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if this person is like this. It's all about family. Some of y'all get away from them. Some of y'all will stop having physical ailments from your own family. Kimberly said, probably because it's their normal, so there is no problem. You the problem. Somebody up here said that too. You the problem. Absolutely. That has become a norm. That is a norm. So I don't really see a problem. You just have to treat them with love. If you love them right, if you love them, if you stop being so harsh, sometimes especially like with the women or like men too, but like a lot of time with the women will repeat what was taught to them. You're probably just not, loving him right. You're probably just not cleaning the house up enough. Or maybe he's already working hard. So, you're putting more stress on him, yeah, he messed up, but well, how many times just help me to help you. Y'all help me wrap my mind around this. And I had to learn this, when you have an affair, how is that an accident? That is a choice. You thought about it and you made a choice to have an affair. That's not an accident. You didn't just trip and fall and start hunching. Okay, that's the only word I can use. Like, you ain't just you walking and you just tripped and fall and started hunching. That didn't work that way. You made a choice. And then the first time you made a bad choice. You are remorseful. I shouldn't have done that. I made some bad choices. I don't know what I was thinking. It's not your fault. It was me. Let me get into therapy. Let me help myself. I'm going to give you a chance. Let's see. Maybe you were immature. You weren't ready. Let's see. The second time you do it, oh my gosh, did you trip and fall again? You tripped and fall and started hunching again. This was a mistake. I made another mistake. Those are choices that people are making. Those are choices that people are making. When people make a choice to have, when they have an affair, they think about it, because you got to think about how to sneak around. You got to think about where to go. You got to think about how not to get caught. You got to think, you're thinking about it. So you're making a choice. So that's not an accident. That is not an accident. If you are in a committed relationship, if you are in a marriage, that is a choice that you are making outside of your marriage. And you have already calculated the risk. And the reason why you have calculated the risk is the fact, and the way you know that a person has calculated the risk is how sneaky they're trying to be in doing it and trying to make sure that they don't get caught. If it wasn't a risk, why are you being sneaky about it in the first place? Why are you lying about it? Why you got to hide it? Just be out in the open. It's not a risk. You see what I mean? Those are choices. And yeah, that's a lot of work. Those are choices. Okay, I'm sorry. I had to think out loud. I thought out loud. My bad. I had to think out loud. Lacey said, girl, because they're flying monkeys. Absolutely. Yes, they are. And listen, sometimes you become a flying monkey without realizing you're a flying monkey. So when you say flying monkey, a lot of people's like, you didn't have to talk about me like that because you were talking about me. I was a flying monkey, didn't realize I was a flying monkey. Sometimes you're a flying monkey without agreeing to be a flying monkey. You are unconsciously, where you are not unrealistically. Sometimes you become a flying monkey, you don't realize that you're a flying monkey. Put it that way. An involuntary flying monkey, and you don't even realize that you're a flying monkey. It's not until later on you're like, oh my God, and I help perpetuate the situation. I didn't make it no better. Especially when people are coming to you about domestic, but they don't have the verbiage yet. They don't really understand what narcissist abuse is, but it's domestic violence. And for some of you guys that you understand domestic violence, sometimes you have to talk to them from the place of domestic violence, because some of them don't understand narcissist abuse yet. And you have to let them understand that it's domestic violence. But then sometimes we have gone through things, and maybe you're still in it. You feel like a hypocrite trying to tell somebody how to get out of their situation, and you can't get out of yours. And that's the same thing that happened to me while I was in the military. I was the best at helping everybody else get out of this situation. I was the best at finding resources for everybody. I was good at what I did. Most people that were going through domestic violence used to come look for me personally so that I can assist them. It didn't matter what rank they were, or where they were, what rank they were. They knew. You come to me, I was going to help you, because I was vicariously trying to save myself through other people. And I felt like a hypocrite because I couldn't save myself. So it was a big secret for me. I wanted to make sure nobody knew what I was going through. I was just helping everybody. It was years later when a lot of my soldiers said, I knew you were going through. I just couldn't put my finger on it. I knew, because you knew too much. You were too good at what you did. And I knew because every now and then something would slip with the narcissist, and they would catch it. And a couple of them said, I couldn't stand him. I could not stand him. I couldn't stand him. And there were things that he did I didn't even know that he had did, and some of my soldiers couldn't stand him. But I didn't know, because you think that nobody else knows. Sometimes it's not the fact that they don't know. They don't want to get involved because they know that the person that you're with is crazy. And so because they know that the person that you are with is crazy, a lot of times when you leave out of it, you don't realize how much support you have out there. And people are like, I was not going to get involved until you made up your mind, because it doesn't matter how many times I rescue you out of the situation and you go back, I become the enemy. And so I become the enemy. He hates me, or she hates me even more. And you keep going back. And then guess what? When you're not mad anymore, all of us are still mad. And so a lot of times, so that's another way a family handles it. And a lot of times they won't get involved until you make a decision to get out the situation yourself. And then you would be surprised at how many people are there to support you, that have always been there to support you. They just had to wait for you to make up your mind to go. When you make up your mind, you'd be surprised at how many doors and destiny helpers are there to help you. But a lot of times people won't get involved because you have to make the choice. And then later on, you will find out, dude, I was just waiting for you to make that choice. Now that you have made the choice. That's why a lot of my soldiers were like, I couldn't stand them. But you know what? I couldn't say anything. I couldn't say anything because that's a choice you were making. And the minute that I say something, if you say something to him or her, what end up happening is you okay? Now that person hates me. Now they don't push me farther away because I'm a threat. So now I can't have anything to do with you. So in order for me to save my friendship or save my family with you, I won't say anything so that I can still have access to you. So sometimes they sacrifice not saying anything. So everything is not, helping the narcissist and they won't say anything. Sometimes it's actually, I don't want to lose you. And in order for me not to lose you, I won't say anything, because if I say something, it'll cause that person to cut me off from you. And I don't want to lose. You are too valuable for me to lose. You see what I mean? But it's still a matter of you having to make up your mind as to what you're going to do. If you keep running back, there's nothing nobody can do for you but to love you. Let's see. Okay, Nan Ralden said, if the family ignores it, then they are the same as him, dysfunctional, and not letting you know who he really is till it's too late. My ex-family stopped all contact with me when he abandoned me in marital home. Some of them are like that. But check this out. There are some, I know it, and sometimes we just don't listen. I put myself in the category with everybody because I never want to point my finger and say you. I don't want to say that. We're a community together. We're family together. We hurt together. We cry together. We're victorious together. Check this out. There are some mothers I know for a fact that have told young women, matter of fact, even fathers that have told young women and have told young men, do not date my son. I'm telling you now, you might want to rethink it. I'm only telling you this one time. Do not date my son, or you're going to be hurting. He's going to drive you crazy. You're going to regret it. I'm just telling you, rethink the situation and don't date my son. There are some that have said, listen, do not date my daughter. If you date my daughter, you're going to lose your mind. If you date my daughter, I'm telling you now, you're going to come back and you're going to wish you would have listened to me. You're going to call me and say, Mr. or Miss So-and-so. You were right. I should have listened. And guess what happened? A lot of them are like, you just hating and you just trying to keep us apart and you just being a hater. You stuck in the hatrix and you just, that's why. And then they tell the narcissist and then they cut the parents off. Or like my parents always like this. And I can't believe that they would say something like that about me. See, that's what I'm talking about. Your parents are supposed to love you, through thick and thin. And they're around here talking about me, whatever. And you come back and say, I should have listened. A parent ain't gonna lie about their child unless they lying for the narcissist. Now, don't get me wrong. But when a parent tells you, I don't think you want to be with my son or my daughter, you better listen and quit calling them a hater. You just trying to be a hater. You just don't want me. You just hating on me because you don't like me. You better listen because they know something that you don't know. They raised them. They know. I'm just saying what I'm saying. All right, let me see. Alexis said that the cause of most of them. Yeah, some of them are. Absolutely. Let's see. Is it Christelle? Do they ignore? She said, do they ignore it though? Or are they just looking on the other side? So in other words, are they looking the other way? And some of them do. Remember, some families like, I just don't want to get involved because it's too messy. A narcissist is messy. A narcissist is messy. If you correct them, if you say anything that they don't want you to say, and that's even the siblings and family members. If you say something that they don't like, they're going to smear your name through the whole family. Smear campaigns don't just happen when you're dating somebody on your job and around your friends and everything. Smear campaigns happen even amongst family. They take your weaknesses. You say something or you don't comply or you don't do it the way that they want you to do it. They're going to call you names. They're going to smear your name, not just within the family, outside the family. And who has more credibility but a sibling or a mother or a father? That's why a lot of you guys struggle because your mother and father, they've got credibility because they're your parent or your siblings or your aunts and uncles. So they can talk. So they got credibility. So who ain't going to believe them? No, let me tell you something. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let me tell you something that you don't know, because they're mad at you. So they're going to punish you. They give you the silent treatment. They won't pick up the phone and talk to you. You don't tell them what to do. It could be something, a 911 situation. But because of the fact that they weren't the ones that come up with it, they ain't going to respond. They're not going to respond because they're not the one that did it. And until they did it and everybody complied to what they were saying, you're thinking like, I said the exact same thing. What is the problem? They didn't move until they wanted to come up with, okay, you come up with the idea. It's confusing. Even within the family, it's confusing. And don't let you have a narcissist that, they confront their parents. They think that because they're adults, they think they're on equal playing grounds with their parents, whether the parent is a narcissist or not. But, let's say they're not. Let's say one of the parents that is not the narcissist, and that narcissist child, goes toe to toe with that parent and tells the parent, I am a grown woman, I'm a grown man. So now I'm going to tell you about yourself. I'm going to tell you the things that you didn't want to hear, because now they put themselves on the equal playing field as you. So I'm grown now, so I can talk to you. And then they talk to you like, let's say they talk to you like a lover that has injured them. So you're listening to them as they're going off on you, they're doing whatever, and you come to terms with the fact that you ain't even talking to me, you talking to them. I'm just happen to be the safer person, or I'm the one that you're able to talk to. So you become the projector. Remember the projector screen, and everything they want to say to this person, they're saying it to you. Has nothing to do with you. And then some of them handle you. Some of them handle you as if you're their husband or wife. You're their girlfriend or boyfriend. They handle you like you owe them something. And some of you guys, look at here. I'm the parent. I'm the grandparent. You don't talk to me like you crazy, but they really think they're on equal playing fields as the parent, and for some parents, it's hard to cut them off because you love your child and you don't want to lose your child. So you're willing to take anything from your child because you don't want to lose the child. You know what? Like my pastor said, the devil is a lie. And his mom and cousins too. Let me see. So Miss Anita said, narcissism can be contagious if not treated from childhood into adolescence. So what she was saying was, I was like, no, I said, narcissism is not, and she corrected me, but narcissism is not contagious. But I understand what she was saying. She was using that as a metaphor. And basically what she's saying is, which is true, is that, if you grow up in a family of narcissists or narcissistic parents, you get fleas. So what happens is every child that's in a home with a narcissist does not develop narcissistic personality disorder. Some people have narcissism. Narcissism is an adjective for a behavior. So sometimes their behaviors, you meet someone and they have all the behaviors of a narcissist. They act like them, they act just like the narcissist. This is how they grew up. This is what they learned to do. This is how they, this is what they do. But they do have empathy. And they do change. When you address the problem, they do change. Now, for some people, they're in the prime of their youth. And so they still playing the game. Some men and some women have not matured. Some men and women they're not mature and they're not ready for relationships. They're not ready for commitments. And a lot of them will say it. I just was not ready for a commitment. I was not ready. Some of them know, and some of them hurt. The difference between narcissism and narcissistic personality disorder is with those that have NPD, they have predictable cycles. You can guarantee these are the certain characteristics and symptomology that they have that carries on from relationship to relationship to relationship. You know them like the back of your hand. You know that this is how they are. They have a pattern, a predictable pattern. The only thing that changes is the field that they play on. They continuously play football, whether you put them on a soccer field, a baseball field, a basketball court, you put them out in the water, they're consistent at what they do. The only other thing, when I say the fields, the playing fields change. You have a rich woman, you have a poor man, you have a educated woman, you have a man that's in the entertainment. I'm just interchanging as I go. But there's a man that's in the entertainment business. There's a woman that's a lawyer. There's a man that is a business owner. There's a woman that's an executive officer. There's a general of the United States Army. There's a, whatever area that they're in, they adapt to the area. Think about it, within time as animals, I think if you read, I think birds are the closest to the dinosaur you're going to get, besides the alligators and the big lizards and all that kind of stuff, Komodo dragons and stuff. But birds are closer to the dinosaurs, right? But think about it, within time, as the climates have changed, within, even with our pigmentation in our skin, every climate, you see, the Asians that live in certain areas with the longer closed eyes, and then you have the Japanese, and those that the eyes are still a little slanted, but they're bigger. The Chinese, the more slanted, the hooded eye, that's what's called the hooded eyes. Then you go to other areas, the eyes are really big, the skin is really dark, the skin is really light, is pale, because of the areas. So each skin type and nationality, and all these beautiful skin colors and hair colors and all, has adapted to the areas in the region, that the colder regions, the hotter regions, more melanin in their skin, the less, so each one, they burn too quick because they're not from that area. They suntan, and they have these beautiful, like the Hawaiians, and those that are in the tropics, just beautiful. Oh, just beautiful people, honey. And Karen, all them beautiful people over there in Hawaii, just beautiful. Some of them super tall, some of them really short. The oxygen levels. I know when I was in the military and I went to Korea, we're up in the mountains, so your lung capacity has to expand to get more oxygen. So you have to run harder because you're running up hills and everything. We come back off the mountains, come back over here to the U.S. I'm running like I'm who is it? The road runner. Got all this lung and air in there, and I'm running like I'm the road runner. So even with the narcissist, they adapt to the environment that they are in. You want them to learn legal terms, they'll learn legal terms. If you want them to learn entertainment terms, they'll learn entertainment terms. If they're going to be a rapper today, and tomorrow they're going to be a business person, and the next day they're going to be whatever they're going to be. So they adapt. But the one thing that's not going to change is the pattern of their behavior. The patterns are very consistent. A narcissist, and then you have to remember, each narcissist is different. Some of them are the lower narcissists, some of them the mid-grade, some of them are the greater narcissists, those that really know who they are. Then you have those that are the coverts versus the overs. The overs are usually on the lower scale, because those are the ones that just do those are the ones. I'm looking at my order. I'm sorry, I have something left at the door. But those are the ones, the overts are ones that are usually coming. They're starting to realize that there's something is very different. They're loud. They're the ones that get themselves in trouble. Those are the ones that may have deep domestic violence. And as they develop, some of them don't develop from that part. As they begin to develop, they begin to get to know who they are. They begin to realize what they can and cannot do. And then they trickle over into that covert. Covert is not always hidden. Covert is more sensitive. They're more sensitive to criticism. They're more sensitive, so it makes them have to be more grandiose. Then you have the somatic and the cerebral. So each one of them are different, and they're different according. Some of them have fetishes, some of them don't. Some of them are in the church. Some of them are on a pulpit. And some of them don't cheat because that is the environment that they're in. Then you have some of them that are in the street. You got those that are gangbangers. You have those that are in the military. So but when you're talking about narcissistic personality disorder, they have a very set, that individual person, you can count on your hand. It's like clockwork. They do the same things. They always do. And you can pick up on their pattern. A person that has narcissism or narcissistic behaviors, they don't have a set pattern. They just all over the place. They just, they don't have a set pattern where you can just pick up, they're a player and they do things a certain way, but they don't have a set pattern that will qualify the criteria for a mental illness. You see what I mean? So there's a difference. Let's see. And I think I'm probably going to end it here because there's a lot of great comments on here. Great comments. Yeah, there are a lot of great comments, but I just wanted to take you through the different when it comes to narcissists, the difference. Okay, where's my stuff at? Give me a second. I'm trying to switch back over here. But okay. Let me get myself back home over here. Where am I at? But I just wanted to go through with that question, why does the narcissist family ignore the obvious? There goes different scenarios as to why some of them, ignore the obvious. Some of them are afraid to say anything, but there are a lot of them, that do ignore the obvious. Believe you me, a lot of them know something is wrong with that narcissist. A lot of them know that something ain't right. Something, 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 something just ain't right. Like Keith Sweat, some of them know that something ain't right, but some of them just don't say anything because they're in the situations themselves. Some of them don't say anything because they're afraid to. Some of them won't say anything because they're afraid they're gonna get cut off. Some of them are dependent on that narcissist, so they can't say anything because that what it is like a sacrifice. You give me this in order for me to get my basic needs met, and I give you my loyalty. And I won't speak against you, and I just won't say anything because I don't need you to cut off, what I'm getting, because I need to survive. So hopefully that answers some questions for tonight. If you guys, Clubhouse, if you give me a few minutes, I'm just going to answer some questions over here on the visual apps. So if you guys would like to ask me some questions, just be real. Give me about 10 minutes, and let's see. Hey, Danielle. Hey, girl. Too bad I don't get to see you. Oh, you were singing that song too? I hate that I didn't get the chance to see you. But if you guys got some questions, go ahead, and that's one of our family members too. But if you guys want to ask me some questions, go ahead and ask me some questions. Then I'll come back. Hey, thank you, Franklin. If somebody will please explain to Mr. Franklin what Clubhouse is, so he'll know what Clubhouse is. You go to the app and you can download it. But if you give me 10 minutes, just ask me some question. Thank you, Shanika. I'm trying to click my thing over. Give me a second. I'm looking at the questions, see if you got any questions. Thank you, Black. I appreciate that. Black Jade. That's pretty. I like that. Give me a minute. My little iPad. I don't know what I'm doing on my little iPad. Esther says she misses. I came out early today because we did not leave the house. We were snowed in. I love you too, Danielle. We were snowed in today, so I was able to come a little earlier. Okay, please do not. Let me look. Okay, she's just posting that. Okay, Clubhouse, cool. Okay. Oh, thank you. Somebody said they like my shirt. Like my shirt? It's black. You can get the shirt at this. You see at the bottom it says Black Doll Affair. Go to Black Doll Affair, and you what it is Black dolls for Black girls, and then we have honorary members. So you guys can go to that site right there. It says blackdollaffair.com, and you can order yourself a shirt too. You can order yourself a shirt. We have but they have honorary members and stuff like that. Go on there, order yourself a shirt too. I was a little smaller when I got it, so it wasn't fitting like this, but I'm gonna get the weight off so the shirt loose on me again. So let's see. Oh, Franklin, you're a female? I'm sorry. Got to change my name. I'm a female. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. Franklin is a female. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. I didn't know. Franklin is a man's name, so I didn't know. Please forgive me. I am so sorry. Let's see. I was going to share this. Let's see. I was going to share it, but I guess I can't share it. Let's looky here. You are welcome, Yalla. We call my daughter Yaya. 10 minutes started a few minutes ago. See, now you want to start the 10 minutes. See, any other time you start the 10 minutes, be like, you got 2 minutes left. Let's see. Now, some of the questions may be really long. So if the questions are real long, the questions go really fast. Hold on, let me look over here on Instagram. Has anyone ever heard of adult narcissistic son being jealous of his mother and spreading a vicious smear campaign to all his enemies? Yeah, I just talked about that. Jay Lopez is a great body transformation coach. He works with women. Okay, please do not advertise. Do not advertise anybody else on my channel, okay? Let me go. Please do not advertise anybody else on my channel unless I have approved you to do that. Do not come on the channel and advertise anybody else as a coach besides the team that I work with. I have because I have Cluster B Free, Telsha with the T. I have Apostle Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. But please do not come on my channel and advertise anybody without my permission first. Okay? Do not do that. Just be real. Are you on my Instagram? Come on my Instagram real quick so I can give you moderating rights. Hold on. Let me find you on here. Because I don't think you're on here as my moderator. You're my moderator, but you're not on there as my moderator. Hold on. Let me find you. Where are you? Give me just a minute. Let me find Just Be Real on here. Where are you at? Oh, there you go. Just Be Real. I don't think I ever put you as my moderator. Hold on. Let me get you as my moderator. Okay, Just Be Real. You're a moderator on my Instagram account. There you go. All right. Let's see here. Where are we at? Where are we at? Do narcs forget their past behavior? I'm in a custody battle that is really not a battle, all because of past receipts I kept and have been holding for this very moment. Do they forget their past behavior? No, they don't forget their past behavior. They know exactly what they're doing. A narcissist is very intentional. A narcissist is very intentional. When you bring up, it's not like they forgot, but when you bring it up, what do? They gaslight you to make you feel like you're crazy. The only way a lot of times a narcissist get caught up in a lot of stuff that they do and say is when you're able to slow them down and put it on paper. Once you slow it down and put it on paper, they can fight it all they want to, but it's on paper. So you don't have to argue it anymore. But a narcissist doesn't forget what they do. They don't forget their behaviors. But what they do is they try to make you forget. They try to remember, it's gaslighting. That's the whole thing is gaslighting. Davita Brown said, Dr. Bryant, my question is, how long did it take you to heal from narcissist abuse syndrome? How did you forgive yourself? Keep in mind, Ms. Davita, that there was history prior to the 22 years of situationship, can't say relationship, there's 20 years of marriage and 22 altogether of situationship. I've had other narcissists prior to that, and I didn't know, every time I got into a relationship situationship, it was a narcissistic situationship. That's how I was, like I said, you come from family, they don't know any better, or they can't teach you, or they've been in an abusive relationship themselves. What are they going to teach you? That's all you know. That's what you're accustomed to. So that's what you're drawn to. And so when I got out of the situation, my biggest thing was, now I'm a believer, so I'm a Christian, I'm a believer. And the biggest thing is me repenting for making my own choices. Now I know everybody's not a believer. That's fine. Big deal. For me, it was a matter of, making my own choices and choosing people based off of emotions, choosing people for the wrong reason, sex, looks, what I thought they could provide, what I thought they could do. So I always entered into situations the wrong way because I was never content with myself. I never saw value in myself. And so, once I asked for forgiveness, one of the biggest things is I had to forgive myself, especially allowing my children to have gone through something like that and witnessed that and the residue from that. And so it took time for me to work through it. Thank God I had a mentor, Apostle Helen Sadler. She was my mentor and my counselor many a times, for a long time, for 3-4 years. And I sat down with her and we had to talk through some things. That was my counseling. I had to talk through some things and I had to admit to some things. There's some things I had to admit to that was hard to admit to, because I didn't focus on them. I did at first, but then I had to focus on me. And when I started focusing on me and I began to like me, I began to recover. And, it took some years, Do I think I'm ready for a relationship now? That's one of the things I had to come to grips with. I'm just getting to love myself. I'm just getting to enjoy myself. I'm getting to enjoy my singleness. I'm getting to enjoy, I found out that I was kind of cute, I found out I was cute. So I was like, well, I'm kind of cute, to love myself, to enjoy my life, to enjoy being a mother, so all those things are part of the healing process. I love the tribe that I'm around, people like Danielle, get to see people like Just Be Real, get to be with my sisters like Bishop Kathy and Apostle Helen Sadler. When you don't have a male, for me, I'm heterosexual. So for me, not having a man in my life gives me an opportunity to focus on me, making friendships, lasting friendships, sisterhood. Each one of these people, Danielle, a businesswoman, Apostle Helen Sadler, she's a what we call it, a serial business owner. Bishop Kathy, serial business owner. People like Demetria on here, Tasha, my sister Tasha, business owners. All these people are business minded people. They don't have time to sit on the phone and gossip. We don't sit on the phone and gossip all day long or talk on the phone all day long. Most of us don't have time to do that. And so it's wonderful to be around people that are similar to you. You get to see yourself in different people, and you get to be around a group of women, each one of them different shapes, sizes, and colors, and you get to love them, and you get to see that everybody's not a narcissist. We all got our own issues. We all get on each other's nerves. So this was my healing process, and up to this point, it has taken me probably about many years. It's been about 13, 14 years to gotten to this point. 13, 14 years. And like I said, you got people around. Like, I love talking to Tasha. Y'all think that a lot of times I come up with some of these ideas myself. Sometimes I go talk to Tasha. You guys know Tasha. She's mother's apostles adjutant that travels with her around. Matter of fact, you saw her when we went to Atlanta. But she's younger than I am. She's way younger than me. I keep forgetting that she's way younger. So I have conversations with her thinking she's from the era that I'm from, until she has to remind me, I'm not from your era, right? But I like talking to her because I'll pitch an idea, have a conversation. She'll throw something out there. I'm like, I didn't think about that. So you got young people, you got millennials, you got older people, and we get to be around each other and talk to each other and get to know each other. She's a visual person, and she has this, and this person is this type of person. You give her this and this will happen. So each one of the, but check this out. In the process of being around this tribe, I'm learning how to trust people again. And when I say trust people, you trust them to, you trust people, and then you learn how to have relationships with people. So I'm getting the chance to learn how to have healthy relationships, just because me and Tasha see each other on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. If I need to call her and talk to her real quick, I do. I never feel like I'm rejected or abandoned by Tasha. We get to travel together, and we travel together. We have a good time and laugh and joke. But I never feel abandoned, or if she don't speak to me when I see her, at one point in time, you could have felt like you going through rejection. So if someone doesn't talk to you, you feel like they don't care about me. Why she's not talking to me? Me and Tasha see each other sometimes for a few hours before I'm like, dang, I ain't even say nothing to you. And I just holding a whole conversation with her like I had just seen her yesterday. So, but you're learning relationships when you get around people. So it's probably like 13, 14 years for me to have gotten to this point. So a lot of people are trying to rush the process. Don't rush the process. Don't rush the process. Take your time. Take your time. How do you get out of the isolation phase? I think I have social anxiety. Who is that? Shanerica. Do things like do things like join a like a fitness center. Start going to a fitness center. You still by yourself, get your little earphones, go to the gym and start working out. Join like a cycle club, join like a Zumba class, join like a swim class or something. If it's safe, I started off with the older ladies. I got into the water aerobics, and I'm thinking to myself, these ladies are old ladies. They ain't gonna do nothing. One lady took off her oxygen mask and left the oxygen mask on the side of the pool. Y'all, when I got in there with these ladies at about 70, 80, 90 years old, they whooped my tail. Them ladies got in that water and I was sweat. How you sweat in water? I was sweating in water. They tore my tail up. But I had conversations. And so for you, it might be a safe conversation with the older ladies. Get around the older ladies into an aerobics class and just have conversations. Some of these older ladies are kind of lonely too. The only conversation that they have is in the pool. And so, that's safe for you because and then you kind of get to know them. You get to talk to them. Sometimes you might even, hey, I'll go grocery shopping with you or for you, whatever. But you go in there, you do little things to get you out of your isolation. Do little things. You know what I mean? What is the best way to confront a narcissist family member? You don't. That's the best way. Them ladies are a beast in the water aerobics, right? I'm telling you, them little old ladies have me in there sweating. And in my mind, I want no punk. I want to let these old ladies punk me out. I was so tired. I said, how do you sweat in the water? I felt myself sweating in the water. I said, I'm in the water. How you sweat in the water? And they were like, you okay, baby? I was like, I see women are tearing my behind up. Tearing my behind up. All right, y'all. Well, I am getting ready to why you laughing, Tasha? Why you laughing? I got it down hardcore. I'm telling you, lady took off y'all think I'm lying. The lady took off her oxygen, her little oxygen thing, and put that oxygen tank to the side. So my first thought, my little arrogant self was like, oh, this is gonna be easy. This is gonna be some easy water aerobics. Shoot, she was the main one. I said, where'd she get all this air from? She just put a tank. I said, where'd she get all this air from? The bouncing baby boppers. Yeah. Yeah. I got out the water like, wait a minute. Yeah. I stopped for a minute. I was like, you know what? Hey, my pride is gone. You guys ready now? I'm going to come over here to Clubhouse. I'm great. Come over to Clubhouse. But that just to answer your question, those of you that are in isolation, go find something easy to do. Get around some of the older women. Now, don't think that some of them ain't narcissists, but at least they're less threatening. You know what I mean? Go to aerobics, water aerobics with them. Go somewhere where the older people are and hang out. Sometimes they enjoy the company, but it's giving you an opportunity to talk, giving you an opportunity to be around them. You know what I mean? So I am getting ready to go over here to Clubhouse. If you guys would like to join me, thank you so much for this evening. I have enjoyed all of you guys. Who is this up here? I know, where'd she get all the air from? I sure did ask that question. Where'd she get? I didn't want to ask her. Where you get all this air from? What you got the tank for? You lying? Narcissistic Domestic Violence Healing and Support Inc. You guys make sure you go follow her. She does support groups. You guys look up. It says Narcissistic Domestic Violence Healing and Support Group. You are so welcome. You guys go up there and you follow her. But she has some support group meetings that you guys can join. That's another way to socialize. Just be careful on social media, though. You got predators out there, too. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go over here to a Clubhouse. Please come on over here and join me. Yeah, you can learn a lot from older people. You'd be surprised. Some of them have been through some tragic relationships themselves, and you get to talk, and some of them just want conversation. Some of them just enjoy, some of them are lonely. And the only socialization or conversation they get is when they come to aerobics because they don't have family to come visit them or anything. So sometimes you're the only conversation and you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised how grateful they are just because you're having a conversation. I love joking and laughing with our elders at the church. I remember, I'm going to get off. I'm going to say his last thing. I'm going to get off, just be real. But I remember she was talking to the young people and she says, you got to stop doing what you're doing. She said, if you don't stop doing what you do, you're going to mess around and come in here pregnant. You stay holy. And I'm just that type of person. I mess with the older folks. And we got a couple of mothers in there about 80 years old. I turned around and looked at them. I said, she talking to you too. Now, let me find out you out here being fast. Come in here pregnant if you want to. But they enjoy little stuff like that. They enjoy laughing and joking and stuff like that. And like, girl, who? So, and sometimes them older people enjoy laughing at you. I love laughing and joking. I love getting around the elders and just making them smile, and sometimes they just need a little company. So if that's a safe place for you, go hang out with some of the elders. You can even go over to the nursing homes and just go in there, ask them if you can sit down and play cards with them. That's giving you an opportunity to get out into something a little safer first, get out into something safe. So y'all, I'm getting ready to come on over here. Oh, that's cool, Norma. You get to hang out with them because you work for them. That's cool, see? But they got some company. So you guys, those of you that would like to, you come on over here to Clubhouse. I'm going to be over here for a few minutes, and then we're going to call it an evening. And so thank you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support. You guys hang in there. I'm trying to get my products. I had to move the products from, hold on, from over here. I had to move my products from over here so you guys couldn't see it. It was sitting back here in the back. So I wanted to make sure you guys couldn't see it. I had to scoot it over. So, but thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Make sure you come on over here to Clubhouse. I'll be here for a few minutes to answer some questions. I love you guys. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for taking care of me. Just be real. Danielle, I hate that I didn't get a chance to see you. I miss you and I love you so much. And we'll see you next time, unless you're going to be here on Tuesday. But love you so much. Sis, miss you. And you guys have a wonderful evening, okay? Good night, everybody. All right, y'all, give me a minute. Let me close out everything, okay? Good night, everybody.